rise for the Pledge of Allegiance by Mr. Summers will lead us. Well, again, I can't thank you enough for coming. We started together 4 years ago. And 4 years ago, when I walked into that little gym down Lincoln Building, no matter what we had, no matter what type of awards we had 3 to 4 people in the audience. And it hurt my heart. It truly hurt my heart after 30-some years. And today we pack it. Without the support of you, none of this would be possible. Our focus here at Heritage is written on the walls, it's written on our students' faces, and by their actions. If you can see right behind me, every school should have a pillar, foundation. Ours is right behind me. We talk about one team, one heartbeat, and what that means to our students. We talk about character and character education. We have a 10-point value system, which hangs right below this line. So there's our foundation. And our students have embraced it. More so, you have embraced it. And that's what makes this place work. We tell our students every day that we hung those on the wall. It's not just good enough to tell our students to come to school because we said so. Every day we tell our kids, we care about you, we appreciate you, and we love you. Every day. And we mean it from the bottom of our heart. But even more so than that, we believe in our kids. We believe in our students. And we will reinforce that every day that they walk through these doors. Every day. Tonight, it should be about the students and you. That's what this night's about. You've had them since they were babies. You watched them grow. You were nervous when you dropped them off in the mornings for kindergarten, elementary school, and then the dreaded middle school. Because you know what middle school is. Their hormones are running wild. And when you drop them off every day, you just want to know, are they going to be happy, healthy, and safe? We'll ask about the grades later. Have you noticed the focus has changed as we have grown? That the focus today seems to be more on the state report card and finances. And even though that's a necessary evil that we have to combat through education, but that seems to be the focus. And the focus should truly have never changed. The focus should be on the kids and you. You're the parents. You love your babies more than anything in the world, whether your children, your grandchildren, an aunt, an uncle. You love these kids sitting here. And we should never lose focus of why our children are here. That's why those words are on the wall, and that's why we say it every day. At this point in time, I would like to introduce Mr. Youth, okay, our superintendent of schools, right over here. All right, thank you for being around the bar. They say that leadership starts at the top. And it does. He's at the top. He has all the headaches for everything that goes through a school district. And so we thank him for his leadership and for the things that he's put in place for our students. And I feel that we'll have greater things coming because of his leadership. At this point in time, I'd also like to recognize anybody from the central office. We have dignitaries here from the board office, board members. We have supervisors here. Would you please stand out and wave and stand up, please? Please stand up and be recognized. Over here we have Marco. We have our staff, our 8th grade staff members that spend a lot of time with our children. We spend as much time, we think, with each other as far as our own staff coming together. We call it our working family. And we become very involved with your children because they become like our children. We said a motto when we came here. Treat every child as if they were your own, and make your decisions based on that. This time, I'd like our staff members to please stand up and be recognized. We created a new position that works closer with your children than anybody in the school. All right, he works with the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th grade kids. He calls you on a regular basis for whatever reasons. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's not so much. But we handpicked this gentleman, and I hope and pray that he'll be my successor when it's my time to step out the door. But he's a good man, a good family man, he's a good person, and he's a great educator. Mr. Fickus, our Dean of Students. At this point in time, like all good ceremonies should have, all right, we have some entertainment for you. And it's twofold, okay? I like to have some entertainment when I come someplace, but also I would like you to see the talent both academically, all right, and through the fine arts that we have in our building. So at this point in time, we're going to give you a little bit of entertainment. Who's up first? Mr. Miller, are you up first? We are going with the orchestra. The orchestra's up first. would like you to meet the people that are responsible for that performance. Would Mr. Miller, Mr. Martini, and Ms. Risky please stand up and be recognized, please. Give them a round. This is just a fraction of our talent in our fine arts. It's like our 8th graders, okay? But our numbers have grown so much. It's a good problem. Just like when I said tonight when you came in here, and I see people along the walls, and I see people sitting in the front row. That's a good problem. You have to understand where we came from, you do. You know how talented your children are. We know how talented your children are. But not everybody else does. We refuse to be the best kept secret. I will be the voice for you. I will be the voice for your children. I will continue to tell everybody that our kids are second to none. Our academics, our talent, and our character at this school is second to none. And it's because of you. Amen. We refuse to keep our kids in a box. We're going to let them out. We're going to let them grow. And we need all your help and all your support, and we are going to continue to do that. We're going to finish with our performances tonight with a solo. All right. We have Ellie Spitznagel, and she has a solo performance on a piano. Ellie. Amazing, right? Amazing. 7th grade. 7th grade. You wonder what's passing through these doors? You wonder where you're sending your children? You're sending them to the best school. That's where you're sending them. And how do we get that word out? We do by word of mouth and by me telling everybody in the world what kind of school we have. I ask everybody else to promote your school, promote your children. But there's another way we do it. Well, Mr. Hughes asked us when he came here, and he went to our website, because that's how people all over the country, all over the state. It is now by technology. When they move somewhere, where are they going to move? Then they pull up Newark High. Well, what school are we going to send them to? Then they pull up that. They pull it up through the webpage. They pull it up through the website. Mr. Hughes came, and he went to a state conference. He said, you know, I was a little kind of embarrassed about our webpage. That was about 3-4 years ago when Mr. Hughes came here. And he asked us principals. He said, would you please go back and get the webpage updated in today's standards and show everybody in the country and the state what kind of schools we have. Well, how do you do that? When he gave me that order, I knew exactly where I was going to go. I was going to go to the best man around. And when you look at our webpage, you'll be so proud that you're going to see those things on our webpage. The YouTube, the performances, the academic awards assemblies. Everything we do, we run through it, and we do it in a first-class manner. There's one guy that has taken that upon his shoulders, and he does that on his own. That's Mr. Dunham, right over here on the camera. This time I'd like you to hear from your children. Mrs. Jackie Cousins, okay, one of our 8th grade staff members and a veteran, would allow now, she's going to take over and introduce our students, and we have our student messages.
Welcome this evening. I'm happy to be here tonight, and I'm very proud of the 3 students who are going to be speaking to me this evening. They have practiced and practiced and practiced. They are so ready to talk to me. So I'm honored to introduce our first speaker, Megan Snedeker.
Today marks the last day of middle school. Do you feel sad and happy about losing your heritage? We all will miss all the great times we had here. Like for me, it was going to Washington, D.C. being a member of the choir. We all have memories we made here that will stay with us for the rest of our lives. But we need to make room for new memories. We need to make room for new memories. Soon our lives will change forever, and we will look back on this time and think about all the great times we had here at Heritage Middle School. OT, OH, how many times have you heard that? But have you stopped and asked yourself what OT, OH means to you? To me, it means if we work together as a team, we can overcome anything that comes our way. So stop and ask yourself what OT, OH means to you. Thank you.
Our second speaker of the evening has been working with me every day in RTI, and I'm sure he's sick of talking about it. But he is a great young man, and I'm happy to introduce Jacob Branch.
Hello, I'm Jacob Branch, and I'm proud to be speaking to you tonight. Here at Heritage, I have many fond memories, and one of them is seeing a new R&B rapper Christian. He is going to be a successful rapper in the future, I can tell. Another memory I will be taking away from Heritage is meeting a lot of nice teachers and peers. Here at Heritage, we are one big happy family, no matter the age, grade, gender. We are one big happy family and always will be. Here at Heritage, we have a motto, one team, one heartbeat, which means everybody's working together and caring about each other. Here is a motto that I try to apply. Life is too short to wake up in the morning with regrets. So love the people who care and forgive the ones who don't. And believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If It changes your life, let it. Nobody said it'd be easy. They just promised it would be worth it. Thank you.
You're making me tear up a little bit. Gosh, I'm so proud. I think I can be prouder of my own children. Today, and lastly, speaking with us is Adriana Roach.
Hello. There we go. Hello everyone, I am Adriana Roach and I am very glad to have all of you here today. The reason we are all here is to celebrate our 8th graders moving on in life. Now we get to take our own adventures to the wonderful place we all call high school. Our parents and peers tell us their opinion of high school and they tell us if it's easy or hard. But now we get to take our own adventures and decide if we do it the easy way or the hard way. I'm proud to say that all of the 8th graders sitting here today have completed their 8th grade year. It might not seem like a big deal, but middle school is where everything starts. You find out your interests, you get your reputation, and you don't get the baby treatment anymore. You're expected to know what's right from wrong. At Heritage, our 8th grade group is like a sports team. Our motto is one team, one heartbeat. We have our coaches, who are our teachers, who teach us right from wrong, teach us new ways to be successful, and most importantly, they teach us our character. And then we have our cheerleaders, Mr. Sereno, and our parents, who stand on the sidelines and they cheer us on, which helps us be successful. Then we have us, the teammates. If we don't use character, leadership, and team spirit, we'll crash and burn. It's our job as a team to get Heritage a good reputation, and I can gladly say that our 8th graders here have fit the definition of one team, one heartbeat. In 6th grade, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, but I can proudly say that now that we're 8th graders, soon to be freshmen, we know that if we don't have character, we have nothing. I think I can say for everyone that we are all proud to be Heritage clients. And I'd like to thank all of the 8th grade staff, because if they didn't work all day and all night, none of us would be sitting here in these chairs today. And I'd also like to say Ms. Schultz and Ms. Cousins have helped me on my work ethic so much this year. It's just crazy to think how much all of us have matured and grown. Thank you.
It's going to be tough saying goodbye to those kids, I'm telling you. And she said she walks in here and all our speakers, they come in as 6th graders, they're just babies, you know what I mean? And then when they leave, they're turning into young adults. You know that and I know that. And it's hard to say goodbye because we challenge them. Every year they get older, we challenge them with more things. And they have definitely rose to the challenge, so it's going to be tough. I'm very proud to introduce our next speaker. He's our speaker of the evening. He's our guest speaker, and he's a man that I've grown to know and respect. And I'm honored to have him to be a speaker in front of our student body and you. It's School Board Vice President, Mr. Dan Biden.
Wow, what an evening so far, huh? How about that choir? How about the band and the orchestra? How about another hand for them, huh? That piano solo was amazing. My gosh. Amazing, amazing. And the messages that these students gave, you know, it's so difficult to stand here and talk in front of a crowd. Most people just don't realize how difficult that is. And I see your teachers swelling up with pride, and I just feel so good for everybody. Mr. Siriano, they tell me this group is ready for high school, is that right?
They're ready.
All right, we'll find out. NEW. Here we go, NEW. One more time, NEW. There you go. Newark, Newark, all the way. You're going to hear that cheer 100 times in the next 4 years. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking to your parents, I'm talking to you. You've reached the time in your life when you are going to be going on, moving on, and frankly, folks, your world is going to get a little bit smaller. They tell me that there are about 125 students here that are going to be moving on. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the class of 2016. And nothing could make me happier, your parents, teachers, the administration and staff, to see every one of you in 4 years walk across another stage and you'll be getting your high school diploma. And folks, it's going to be here before you know it. It's going to be here before you know it. You're going to find out when you get to high school that, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, things are going to be a little bit different. They're going to be different. You've grown up as a community and a family, and you've grown up with all of the goodness that your teachers, your staff, and the enthusiasm that Mr. Suriano shared with all of you. That's precious. And you need to understand that that is your foundation that you're going to carry forward for you for the rest of your life. It's going to be amazing to see the way that you're going to grow over the next 4 years. How you'll develop into some of the amazing people that we see come out of Newark High School, that go on and change other people's lives and do nothing but become successful. But folks, you'll be part of a group of about 2,000 students. And you know, it can be pretty easy to become obscure amongst 2,000 students. And sometimes you might think that you don't matter. But you need to understand that this world we're living in is getting smaller. You need to understand that there has never been a time, more of a time, for there to be more cultural acceptance than what we have right now. And you know, when we opened up this ceremony, we did Pledge of Allegiance. And I happen to be a veteran. And that pledge means a great deal to me because we live in a country where there's so much opportunity. There's so much growth. And we must never take that for granted. And I just wanted to just review with you a few things that came to my attention that I thought you might find interesting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to imagine the entire population of the world, and it's reduced down to 100 people. And what that would look like in this group of 100 people. So if you did that, if you took this group of 100 people, what you would find is that we think we as Americans rule the world. In this group of 100 people, 57 of those people would be Asian, 21 would be European, 8 would be African, and only 14 out of that group of 100 would be from the Western Hemisphere. Here's something that's kind of interesting. Again, in this group of 100 people, females would make up 52 out of that 100 figure. Males would make up 48. Something to think about, right? And how about this? Out of this group of 100 people, we don't know how important Christianity is to our culture, but you need to understand that in this group of 100 people that represents the world, out of that group, only 30 would be Christian. 70 out of that 100 would be non-Christian. Interesting, you know, as you ponder things. Here's something to think about. We talk about the opportunity here in the United States, in this country. Think about this. 6 people in this group of 100, 6 people would possess 60% of the entire world's wealth. And here's something to think about. All 6 of these people would be from the United States. They would be from America. 80 of that 100 would live in substandard housing. 70 of that 100 would be unable to read. 50 would suffer from malnutrition. 1 person out of that 100 would be near death. 1 would be near birth. And here's something to think about. Okay? Yes, only 1 would have a college education. And here's another something to think about. In this group of 100 people, if you think about how fortunate we are, only 1 out of that 100 would own a computer. Something to think about. Again, when we think about all that we have, and all the gifts, and all that we should be grateful for, if you woke up this morning, folks, ladies and gentlemen, if you woke up this morning with more health than illness, you are more blessed than 1 million people who will not survive this week. If you never experienced, listen to this, if you never experienced the danger of battle, the loneliness of imprisonment, the anguish of torture or pangs of starvation, you're ahead of 500 million people in this world. You talk about the gifts that we have in this country, just think about that. If you can attend a church meeting without fear of harassment, arrest, torture, or death, you are more blessed than, listen to this, more blessed than 3 billion people in this world. It's amazing. And here's something to think about, okay? If you have money in the bank, or if you have money in your wallet, spare change in a dish someplace, listen to this, you are among the top 8% of the wealthy people in this world. Again, when you think about the world, so, you know, again, as I review that, it just tells me that this world is getting smaller, and there will be more time for more acceptance of all that we see. What I can ask you is this. I want you to go out and have a great summer. I want you to go out and have just a great summer because you've got some exciting times ahead of you, starting with high school. It's great to be a Wildcat. Go out and have a good time. We'll see you this fall in that brand new high school up there. And folks, I wish each and every one of you the best. Parents, congratulations on all you've done to get your kids to the level that they are. Teachers, staff, thank you so much for all that you've done for our students to get to the goal. And again, it's great to be a Wildcat. Go Cats!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to give our special presentation. I'm going to then after that, we're going to give the certificates to our students for the ceremony. And I'm about ready to turn this over to Mr. Fickus. You know, a lot of people have come to know me just because of the voice. And if I'm the voice of the school, Mr. Fickus, without a doubt, is the backbone of our school. And I want you to know that, and I want you to see him, and I want you to understand that. What the Dean of Students is. That's funny. I started out as a Dean of Students. And let me tell you why we call it a Dean of Students. Why don't we call it an assistant principal? Because you take a guidance counselor's job description, which is this long. You take an assistant principal's job description that's this long. You merge the two, and then you give it a nice name by the Dean of Students. The man works from morning to night. He's the first one here, the last one to leave. He has a wife and children. He loves coaching. He's coached his whole entire life. He's from Newark, Ohio. All right, he spent 12 years in this system. And without a doubt, if I'm the voice, he's the backbone. And at this time, he's going to give our special awards out to our children, which he should. It's called the One Team, One Heartbeat Award. And I think you guys all understand that now. Mr. Fickus.
Thank you very much, Mr. Strino. And thanks to everybody for coming on this evening. As most of you already know, that the 10-point value system and the One Team, One Heartbeat is what our school is all about, and the image that we try to portray to your children, to the community, and to all the students in our building. I'm very lucky to introduce our one male and one female winner of the One Team, One Heartbeat Award for displaying character and compassion towards his or her school and fellow students. The recipient of the 2012 One Team, One Heartbeat Award, one of them goes out to Nathaniel Crow. And the lucky female winner of the One Team, One Heartbeat Award goes to Ariana Gostrip. I taught her everything she knows.
Well, I hate to start the next part. It's bittersweet. I'm going to say goodbye to our kids, but it's time to say goodbye. All right? You raised them. I raised them. We raised them. And it's going to be hard to say goodbye to these kids. Now, I tell those children, I get up 5 o'clock every morning, and I don't have to. I ask myself why. And my wife reminds me over and over. That's why. Look at them. Okay? They look for you on that curve. So, we're going to say goodbye now. Mrs. Cousins and Mr. Fickus is going to give out the certificates, and we're going to finish this up. We're going to wrap this evening up. And I thank you. And we'll have closing remarks at the very end, very brief. Mr. Dunham, would you please start the procession? Mrs. Cousins, would you please come up? Mr. Fickus?
Madison Cruz. Kara Jewell, Chance Johnston, Desiree Jones, Sierra Killian, Nathaniel Crow, Anastasia Coons, Michaela Levitt, Taylor Lewis, Brandon Linger, Austin Lindley, Alexis Majors, Margarita Martinez, Brianna Eisenhower, Caroline Metz, Brady Mitchell, Cameron Montgomery, Alexandria Morgan, Isaiah Mummy, Nathan Munyon, Danielle Nichols, Cassidy Offenbaker, Brittany Oney, Erica Parker, Hannah Petrella, Caitlin Conner, Dominic Presley, Serena Ramsey, Jamie Randolph, Alexander Richards, Randy Ridebaugh, Adriana Roach, Jacob Roberts, Dean Roman, Christian Bruda, Amanda Sainsbury, I'm trained well. Avery Shem, Jacob Snedeker, Megan Snedeker, Autumn Spears, Louis Strasball, Devin Stahl, Abigail Summers, Robert Thomas, Shane Warner, Jacob Wells, Ryan Wilcox, Shania Williams, Ashley
so I'm going to give my final remarks, but I'm going to miss your babies. I've grown attached to them. And they're ready. They're ready. It's only middle school. By God, when we set them up here on campus with 1,600 kids, your children will be ready. I promise you that. I promise you that. Children, it's not the end, it's the beginning. It's the beginning. This is your launching pad. You're not going to end anything in 8th grade. Anything. Middle school's not ending, it's a beginning. It's a launching pad. That's right, thank you. And you're not going to get rid of me that easy, because when you go to the high school, you have to face another Sereno. My wife's up there as administrator. That's my lovely over there. When I asked the #1 question, when Keith Richards called me up 4 years ago and says, Tom, I want you to take this school. It was only 2 weeks ago. And I said to my wife when I went home, why should I? I did my 30 years. I worked hard. Why should I go on? And she says, because you love the kids, and they'll love you. And so I track them. So when they go there, every night we come home, our supper is like at 7, 8 o'clock at night. I said, well, how'd my kids do? He said, again? I want to know how my kids from Heritage do. You ask all those kids up and down the hall, so I'm checking on them. I'm checking on you and I'm tracking them. Okay? My God, you step up and you be the leaders of that school. You be the leaders. When you're seniors, you will run the high school. You will be the leaders that you're taught to be. You have great parents that love you. You've got a good foundation. And by God, don't you ever forget what you were taught. One team? OT? Mr. Dunn, lead them on out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can I get a picture? Big, big,